Hey, it's been a little bit. Hope everyone's doing okay. It's been a while since the last time I uploaded. When was the last time I... The last time I uploaded was 2 months ago. And I bet you guys have been wondering, Ness, where have you been? To the 80 people who are subscribed and the 2 people that watches my stuff, what have you been doing? Just living life, doing what I should be doing. Right now I'm just kind of chilling before work as I got done with all my shit. Besides maybe I got some clothes I should put away, but I'll do that after recording. For the past few months, I had grown more and more tired of using just Microsoft products, Windows. Lately, this is before I noticed it, but lately there has been a trend going on where people are switching to Linux, and I started doing that before it really became a big trend. The last time I tried switching to Linux was actually last year, and the first time I did it was on Linux Mint, and this was before NVIDIA GPUs had more support in quotations on Linux. Didn't really work out very well. I have video of it on a USB stick somewhere. I think within a couple days I reinstalled Windows and moved on for it was nothing. But with all the Copilot stuff and the recall feature that I heard is now being rolled out, and just how fucking slow and abysmal Windows 11 is, and knowing that they're gonna shut down Windows 10, at least support of it, I said fuck it and I moved to Linux. And I eventually, after some tinkering with a few distros, I finally just landed on Arch Linux. For me, one of the biggest reasons why I even chose to do it was because, one, I had used it before. A few years back, I took a university course that introduced me to Linux, and one of the first things I had done was install Arch Linux on a virtual machine manually. This is before the Arch install script became a thing, so to anyone's like, oh, you shouldn't use the Arch install script, I have done it manually before. It took me about 5.5 hours to do it because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But now that I have more knowledge of this stuff, I say, you know what, I'm not doing that again. So I just did the Arch install. It got all the GPU drivers, and I'm all good to go. Weirdly enough, I am running a 4070, and Arch Linux is running everything flawlessly. I have not, besides maybe a mishap once or twice updating a GPU driver, literally I've had no problems with NVIDIA GPUs on Arch specifically. And I just kind of want to show off my setup. It's really nothing too crazy. This is my setup right now. I'm not really using too much. I got Arch ready, and I kind of want to show off some things with Arch, and for anyone who wants to switch to Linux, just some of the basic stuff. I don't know how to do bash scripting and all that. At some point I want to learn how to do that, but right now I've just been really busy and I just don't have the time to do that. At some point I'm going to learn how to do bash scripting, which is really cool. I wish I knew how to do it, otherwise I'd show it off for you. I'm only starting to really start tinkering with it because when I first got Arch Linux, I just wanted to use it like any other operating system out there. I just used it for YouTube videos and just light gaming and maybe a Discord call once or twice. And for me, that was all I needed. If you're watching this video, you probably watched the PewDiePie video where he said you probably have to give something up to do that. For him, it was Photoshop. For me, it was video games that required anti-cheat, like really big games like Destiny 2, Apex Legends, Overwatch. I'm just listing a few names off, but for me, it was Destiny 2. And honestly, at the time when I did it, I was already kind of getting bored with the game anyway. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I have nothing to lose. And if it wasn't for the fact that Proton literally makes everything run better and just makes gaming on Linux so much easier to an extent, that's perfect for me. And let me kind of give you a little rundown of how. Let's just say what is a package that I can get rid of to show off. Let's do Krita. Yeah, let's do Krita. So on Windows, you would have to do you would just have to look it up on Krita and then scroll down a bunch to get to like the 4th link or something. You click on it, and then you go to download, and then you just download it from there. But on Linux, you can actually do it something completely different, like do it in a completely different way, which I think is kind of better in a way, because it's more efficient, and also just like you are still downloading files from a server, but from here there are distros out there that where you can just use Linux like you would Windows and not touch the terminal. But I will say, even though you don't have to, you should, because the terminal is honestly the coolest fucking thing that has ever been put on an operating system. On Windows, you can kind of use it, but it's like really sophisticated and no one really touches the terminal unless you're doing like port forwarding or pinging something or just troubleshooting. On here, it's literally everything. So like if I wanted to install Krita, you would do sudo pacman. On Debian Linux distros like Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and a couple other ones. Like I don't know every Linux distro off the top of my head. I'm just doing off the knowledge that I know. Let's just go with Ubuntu because that's like the most known one other than Mint. You would use like apt, and I would type in sudo pacman s and then Krita, and then it would say like, oh, what's your sudo password? You put in your password and it pulls up the packages from a server, and it's like, hey, do you want to download this? It tells you exactly what you need, like how much it's going to take, exactly what you're getting. Do you want to proceed with it? Yeah, I will do that. And it's going to do all this cool shit. And then once that's done, you can actually go to your thing and type in Krita, and it's right here. So it's that quick. It's that easy. I'm so glad that I already have a little bit of prior knowledge to Linux before I actually dove into it, because I took a cybersecurity course and they kind of like learning sudo and all that. I actually, now that I think about it, I did learn bash scripting, but like not in the way that it's cool. It was just kind of like whatever. Like I know a couple like weird packages like cowsay. I know cowsay is really stupid. If you type in like cowsay fuck you, it's gonna pull up a account that says fuck you. I know that was like a little fun little package that oh shit, wait, you don't need cowsay. It's just something really funny. Let's actually remove Krita as well, because I don't draw. That's just like a program that I know. Weirdly enough, I'm gonna compare, now I'm about to glaze Linux for a little bit. Compared to Windows, I've actually had more problems with applications that I use every day, like Discord or not Steam. Steam is a little finicky sometimes, but that's just because it's like a GUI thing. I think it has something to do with me using a 4070. But other than that, I've had no problems with it. Discord, I remember I had like a shit ton of issues on Discord where I would join a call and then it would take forever to join, and my internet would be like, what am I supposed to do? You want me to join a call? What the fuck are you talking about, buddy? You want to join a server? Like, are you serious right now? You want to join a server? But for Discord on Linux, it works just fine. I've had no issues, and for some reason, sound. Why? Is my headset off? No, why do... That's another problem with Linux, is not everything's gonna work out the box, so you gotta figure out what's causing this issue. So let me see if I can figure out what's causing this. Okay, Discord just doesn't want to have sound. Okay, that's cool. I've had no problems with using Discord on Linux. Even if you can use the terminal to install stuff, they have a built-in Discover little store you can use. One of the first games I played on Linux was actually the Sonic Unleashed recompiled like PC port, quote unquote, and it ran perfectly fine because there's a native Linux version. Switching from Windows to Linux was honestly one of the hardest things I had to do, because I thought I'm really reliant on it. I need to not get away from it, but then I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, the all these things that are coming in. At the time, I could disable them, but I'm pretty sure they're fully rolled out at this point. And the recall thing, they're like, oh yeah, we're not going to put in recall. But then they put it in anyway, and if you don't know what recall is, how do you not know what recall is? Recall is a feature that Microsoft is pushing out on Windows devices that uses a program to take a screenshot every like 5 to 10 seconds to help you keep track of what you're doing for some reason. And I'm like, I get the reasoning, but like that is the worst possible way to do it, because not only you are taking screenshots of someone's screen, but it's also you're saying, oh, we're not uploading it to a server, we're just putting it onto your computer somewhere. One, that's going to take up a shit ton of space, because if it takes a screenshot every 10 seconds, it's like going into a Steam game and spamming F12 for like every 5 to 10 seconds. That's stupid, and it doesn't work. So it's going to fill up your storage space. It's going to slow down your computer even more than it already is. Windows 11 has so much fucking bloat, it's actually insane. I've never in my life seen like, hey, Windows 10 was an alright software, it was an alright OS. Not as good as Windows 7, but you could still use it if you wanted to. Yeah, fuck you. We're just going to completely ruin your day, and we're just going to fill up your computer with bloatware and slow down your computer. On the PewDiePie video, he showed that if your computer was slowing down, you just kind of had to deal with it. But on Linux, there are commands out there, like system deanalyze, that allow you to pinpoint exactly what is slowing down your computer, and you can completely optimize it, which made me realize something. Hardware doesn't necessarily go bad, or at least not in the sense that you think it does. So you could literally just install Linux on very old hardware and still use it, which honestly is kind of crazy, because you don't need that much hardware to run Linux. And because of that, my computer the performance on this computer is insane. The problem is not every game is supported on Linux. Right now, I am playing Oblivion Remastered, which is an amazing game. It works pretty much natively on Linux, which kind of shocked me, because I was like, whoa, this is Bethesda we're talking about. But also, I don't think I've ever had an instance where Bethesda games like have problems running games on Linux. Thanks to the Steam Deck, there is this tool that you could use called Proton. What it essentially is, it's just a compatibility layer. Like, let's say, how do I describe this? Let's say you're eating broccoli. You fucking hate the taste of broccoli with every inch of your body. You hate it, it makes you gag, makes you want to throw up. But instead of eating it, you put cheese on it, and then you eat it, and you love it, and you keep eating it. And it works fine with your taste buds, you love eating everything. Some games do have native Linux versions, but they don't always perform very well. I think that's simply because of the fact that at this point, I haven't checked in a while, but the market for PC for Linux is like so small. I think it got way higher now thanks to the Steam Deck and Proton with Valve and everything. But other than that, I don't think, as of right now, not as much people are using Linux, which, to be fair, if you want compatibility, I'd still recommend Windows, but I don't know if I'll recommend that for much longer, because at some point, it's going to piss you off to the point where you're going to want to quit. Same with like switching from console to PC. I switched from console to PC because I was sick and tired of paying a subscription to play video games, play online video games, and just PlayStation had a bunch of security issues. They sucked. They're awful. Awful company to trust your personal data with. If you are a PlayStation user, please, for the love of fuck, do not save your credit card information on the PlayStation Store. It's not worth it. Even then, that habit made me not save my credit card information on Steam. Even if I don't even know if they have any data breaches or not, because I don't really pay attention to it. As long as I don't have it saved, I think I'm fine. Right now, I played Repo, Left 4 Dead, Abiotic Factor, both versions of Oblivion. I played through the entirety of Resident Evil. Satisfactory works. Monster Hunter Wilds works alright with Linux. I haven't tried it lately because I just got bored, or I just never bothered to play it. I need to finish it though. Playing games on Linux is probably like, as long as you know what you're doing, which is not that hard, because I'm going to explain to you how you can get these games working. There is a website called ProtonDB, which is a website that allows you to look up a game, and through submissions of people with multiple different Linux distros, will tell you, hey, this game will work or this game will be kind of fucked. So as of right now, if you look up Destiny 2, it's going to say borked because, well, it uses BattleEye, which is a kernel level anti-cheat, and it will not work with Linux. And even then, because you're using Linux, if you even boot this game, you're at risk of getting your account banned. Actually, no, let's do Expedition 33. So that game just came out. Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. It says Platinum, which means, so far, it's telling people that it's running perfectly fine. There's only 3 reports, but that's because the reason why you only see 3 reports is because I have filters on. Let me get rid of these filters, actually. As you can see here, there's a bunch of things you can look at. Telling people, hey, it'll tell you what issues they have, what launch options they used on Steam to fix it, what distro you're using, what kernel version they're using, and how much RAM they have, their specs. What you can do is you can go to this filter, and let's say I do any type because you don't want to do click, play, tinker. I just like to do any of them. I have an AMD CPU, but an NVIDIA GPU, and I use Arch Linux. And if you check this box here, you don't have to do this over and over again, persistent across site. And it will tell you every single report that is specifically that criteria. So for this person here, Tux the Penguin, they say they only played about 2 hours so far, got through the prologue into the first act without any issues. So if I were to boot up Expedition 33, I would have to go to Properties, and then Compatibility, force the use of a specific Steam compatibility tool, and then go to Proton Experimental. If you don't have it installed, it will install it for you. It'll be like, okay. And on Steam, the first thing you're going to do is go to Settings, and then go to a Compatibility, and it'll say Enable Steam Play for other titles, which will by default make it boot with Proton, with a Proton version. So as you can see, Oblivion Remastered is working, like, totally fine. This game just came out like a week ago or something. As you can see, I'm at Kvatch right now, and as you can see, the game is running perfectly fine. I'm running a good 80 You can't see it, but I'm running at 80 FPS. That's because this is an Unreal Engine 5 game, so it's gonna be kind of intense. What? It's so loud. But if I were to start a live stream right now and just not say a word, you guys would have no idea I was using Linux. That's how like seamless it runs. Not all games will run like this. There's just a bunch of games that don't work on Linux, but a lot of them do. It's just you kind of have to take a few extra steps to determine, like, okay, and for those who don't know about ProtonDB, I'm pretty sure every fucking Linux user who games knows what ProtonDB is. I'll just leave a link to it in the description if you want to go look at it. That's like one of the only, like, the first bookmarks I have. But anyway, Linux, why you should use it. You have more control over your operating system. You use it yourself. You don't need an account to fucking use it. If you have an old laptop, you could use it off of that. And if you are more of like a software developer, you're more likely to use Linux more than anything, because a lot of developers and engineers use Linux. Why you shouldn't use it? If you like the game on it, you're probably going to have some compatibility issues, but it's not really a big deal. If you use Adobe products, you will give them up because they will not work on Linux. If they do, it's going to be really difficult to get them working. There's no official support for NVIDIA GPUs, but you can get it to work. You are going to have some troubleshooting issues down the road. You can completely fuck your system if you don't know what you're doing, so it's best to do your research, and you need patience. A lot of patience and a lot of willpower to figure out what the fuck you're doing. If you're going to use Linux, do not touch Arch, at least for the time being. Go on something like Ubuntu or Linux Mint. That's so much easier to get yourself into. PewDiePie did it. You can do it. My mom could do it. Your grandma could do it. Your uncle could do it. Anyone could do it. Thank you for watching. I don't know. I was just kind of ranting on. Hope you have a wonderful day.